Well, as Dr. Tharoor has already explained to you that he has to chair a standing committee meeting, and Mr. Dua has also to go there, but I have requested him not to move at the same time other people think they are boycotting our discussion. So Dua, I will come to you. You were press advisor to Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and he's the person who first said India-US natural allies. He's the one.
I was with him in Washington, traveling with him in the talks with you.
Now, somebody has written that Modi now appears determined to translate Vajpayee's sentiment into durable partnership. Do you think there's some substance in this? There's another other end is that somebody written to build up great expectation is good strategy. In the run-up to elections, it helps you get elected. But there is the evident downside. You have to live up to them. So far, the Modi government has done precious little to meet elevated expectations.
So, Ambassador, the quality of the leadership at the moment is very, very important, particularly. Obama would like the visit to succeed in a big way, wants to prove that he's not alone at this. George, with the elections to the House and the Senate, he will not to prove he can still take some decisions that are really powerful. For Modi, the impulses is a big stroke plan. For Modi, the impulses, after achieving results, substantial results in Australia and Japan, he wants this visit to succeed in a big way. But my test is not the language they use. Relationships are always what is an ally and what is a partner, and partnership is a used word in Europe and the Western world in a different way than used in earlier terms. And what becomes an ally, I don't think the word ally will be very popular with him, but partnership will be popular with him. The test will be how much technology America is going to, US is going to share with us in sensitive areas, which has been unstated, not stated openly too much. In many areas, they are keeping their hands back, and technology is being kept back. Investment certainly will come, I suppose. They will utilize this 49% clause, has not been amended for without any reason. These two tests, the defense partnership, whatever you call it, it's important for Modi to show results in that area, creation of jobs, if they're manufactured here. But technology is very, very important test is going to be of this summit. I don't know how high it is on the agenda of the talks between now and January 26th. Much is going to be discussed, the details.
Rajiv, I will come to you because the economy is what matters. Somebody written that unlike many, Modi has understood the centrality of the United States in accelerating India's economic growth and elevating its position in the international system. Now, somebody also, Modi also said they will increase the trade by 5 times in a few years. Many people are very skeptical whether it happens. Then let's also get something concrete details. The difference of civil nuclear law, IPR, solar energy, compulsory licensing, mandatory sourcing, taxation, all these things. Keeping all these back of mind, do you think economic relations are really going to take a leap forward?
I'm actually convinced that, and simply because I think what Shashi Tharoor has been emphasizing, and which is that this government has taken the bull by the horn on our domestic front, which is that they have said, Mr. Modi has said that they will bring India within the first 50 ranks of doing business survey, where it is now languishing at 142. It has slipped from 136 to 142. Now, yes, I was talking to the Secretary Industries yesterday, and he was saying that it's going to be very difficult to do this, to improve the business environment. But the fact is that those people are on the job now, and that's actually being done. So what I would actually, and really speaking, 80%, if not more, of the problem of India's expanding trade or commercial or economic relations, etc., is at home. It's high time that India sort of, for a long while, stop pointing the finger at others. Because, our tariff rates are highest. Our protectionism, is high. Our industry, the big boys especially, still think that this 1.2 billion, population market is theirs and it has to be protected for them. They're not convinced that, we are living now in a, globalized world where they have to be internationally competitive. So I think by the very fact of Mr. Modi admitting this, declaring it, and now getting it down, to the brass tracks, and this is where I think Shashi would be better off in not judging in 6 months what the implementation is going to be. Because 6 months is too short a time. And I know there's a lot of work in progress. So I'm actually quite convinced that given this pragmatic, implementation-oriented, focused approach of this government, I am very hopeful that you will see results very soon. And therefore, some of these things that you're talking about, will actually, we sort of, will go away. Some irritants will remain. And those irritants will have to be sorted out in a much more sort of, in a much more give and take manner. And here maybe the US will have to be a bit more asymmetric in its approach towards India than a quid pro quo reciprocity, which may not work in some cases, like for example in the pharma. Thanks.
Okay. Liability laws which you were talking about, I think that's going to be amended. And liability law is going to be less rigorous than it was provided. Incidentally, it was BJP which insisted on those clauses to be added, and Manmohan Singh was resisting it.
Now they want.
But Arun Jaitley was pressing those amendments in Parliament. I think they're going to revise it to make it more accommodating.
Good news. Well, Gucharan, you were not able to finish some of the point. You want to continue. And also, I would like to have your comment. This is an article written by one of very well-known writer, Not Natural Partners at All, written by former Foreign Secretary. His last line says the US is a hard nut to crack. And even if it could be, its contents are none too sweet. Ambassador Kamal Sibba.
Yeah, well,
He was one of the panelists, but he overstayed in Germany, so couldn't be with us.
Yeah, well, this comment exactly underlines what Rajiv was saying about the toxicity of our diplomatic. Where is Lalit Man saying? We're lucky that he's not hearing. Okay. That actually our relationship with the US would be a very good relationship if it was a relationship between people and businesses. It is the diplomats on both sides, beginning with the time of Krishna Menon and John Foster Dulles, who actually poisoned it. And we are still getting that poison out of our system. And so I'm sorry to say that what the last part of that comment,
Hard nut.
and it's not the hard nut, it's the end part of that nut.
Contents are not too sweet.
Yeah. Anyway, I fundamentally agree with what.
I just want to add something to what Gucharan just said about this. You have to broaden this to not just diplomats, but also really it's a matter of confrontational elites. The Indian elite believes that it is the best in the world. It is 1% of this population, that's true. It is the best in the world. It has the answer to all of world's problems. And it can do global governance at all times. The fact is, and that is what leads to this confrontation all the time.
Okay. So, what I just wanted to say here was that where I disagree with Shashi is that I think Shashi has forgotten, or perhaps because he's never had anything to do with business, there's something called an investment cycle. there's something called an investment. You know, you're taking away from my 5 minutes. Okay. So there is, businessmen know that there is something called an investment cycle. And investment begins with confidence. We have got the confidence. Confidence on both sides. And it's not just the stock market in India that's reflecting in that confidence, but rating agencies, a number of other indicators that are coming in, investment banks, etc. And so I think it begins with confidence. Second, confidence leads to investment. Now, the process of the last 6 months has been actually trying to undo so much of the damage that was done in terms of stopping projects. When you stop a project, the investor, the clock is ticking with the bank. And so you have to, in many cases, those investors have completely gone bankrupt in the meantime. So that's a very difficult process. And I know one person, somebody in this government who was working 24 hours a day practically, 18 hours a day at least, I know, working to ungum the system. So there's been a lot of implementation which has been done. And certainly once you have investment, then it takes time for the production to begin, for the jobs to come back, and for the growth to pick up. So frankly, this was actually an illegitimate question to even address. And so I think that what we should address are really the implementation steps that are being taken. Now, I think somebody mentioned the steps being taken by in this Make of India project to bring down our sort of index rating from 142 to 50. There's a huge amount of work that has been done. You know, there's something. The UPA government had the idea of self-attestation, but it is this government. Self-attestation is a revolutionary thing in India. It affects every single person in the country. And that project is moving very rapidly. And finally, you know, just to talk about the fact, I totally agree that the ball's in our court. That here Manmohan Singh made this great nuclear deal, but it was totally vitiated by the nuclear liability bill. And I won't just blame the BJP. BJP certainly deserves a lot of the blame. But I would blame all the parties who voted for this. And that's another toxicity that needs to be unblocked.
Thank you.